Generative AI produces stunning, photorealistic visuals in isolated bursts. Type a few words, and the system summons a glowing astronaut drifting through a cosmic void. These outputs are 3 to 5 second clips. They provide spectacle, but they lack the internal logic required to sustain a plot or establish meaningful pacing. Creating a single, breathtaking shot is a matter of prompting. Stringing those shots together into a cohesive movie requires a different methodology. Without a rigid framework, an AI generator produces a sequence of random events. It lacks the connective tissue that makes a series of images feel like a single unfolding story. The monolith signal functions as a piece of strict narrative architecture designed to control the artificial intelligence. This blueprint treats narrative as a top-down engineering problem. By mapping everything from the macro-level structure to micro-level camera movements, the creator forces visual continuity and intentional cinematic pacing onto the algorithm. Forcing order onto the AI begins with a mathematical breakdown. A 15-minute runtime requires a rigid timeline to act as a structural skeleton. A 15-minute horizontal timeline breaks into 5 evenly spaced blocks, mapping scene counts and minute markers. Zooming in, time chunks lock into the structure. Act 1 occupies the first 3 minutes, scenes 1 through 30. Act 2 commands the next 3, scenes 31 through 60. This macro-level mapping prevents the AI from drifting into unrelated visuals, ensuring every generated clip fits into a predetermined slot. Beneath the acts, the system uses phases to control the specific pacing and thematic intent of each sequence. Phase 1 of the first act focuses on cosmic suspense, characterized by slow movement and spatial isolation. To maintain this tone, the framework dictates specific variables: cold blue tones, extreme wide shots, and close-ups, like this astronaut standing on an obsidian asteroid. This deliberate stillness provides a sharp contrast to the second act's planetary plunge. In this phase, the variables shift to hot orange plasma, screaming engines, and violent camera shaking as the ship enters the atmosphere. Codifying these aesthetic variables allows the filmmaker to move the viewer from a state of quiet dread to high-velocity action through purely technical transitions. At the granular level, the blueprint translates the narrative goals into a standardized prompt formula. This breakdown isolates the shot type, subject, environment, and kinetic action into distinct brackets for the AI. For scene 31, brackets fill with low-angle tracking shot, dropship breaks stratosphere, and ball of orange plasma. This specific vocabulary ensures the output matches the pre-planned architecture. The system also pairs visual prompts with specific audio cues, such as matching a camera shake with hyper-fast percussion. This rigid formatting at the micro level is what forces the AI's generation to follow the director's specific intent. Successfully coding the first 2 acts establishes a master structural blueprint. The creator feeds this established pattern back into the generator to map out the survival, the crew betrayal, and the final climax. This repeatable loop ensures that the visual logic and pacing remain consistent from the opening discovery to the final cliffhanger. The film director's role now centers on sequencing massive amounts of structural data. Modern filmmaking in this space prioritizes architectural thinking and logical sequencing over the traditional skills of on-set improvisation. The future of cinema belongs to those who can master the structural blueprint required to turn raw generative power into a cohesive story.